Big Stank asked me to cover this in the comments. Yo, bro, can you decode Jodi Huisentruit, the news anchor case? I say yes, I can. I temporarily forgot, and then once I remembered, put this together fairly quickly. Now I'm going to show you some connections that I found as I do with what I do. So here is Jodi Huisentruit right here. Now the uh, the day before her disappearance, Huisentruit participated in a golf tournament, is what they're saying here. According to Mason City resident John Vancis, she then went to, well, let me start from the top here. That might be easier. So she's a American television news anchor who worked for KIMT in Mason City. In the early morning of June 27, 1995, a colleague called her at home when she failed to arrive for work. Huisentruit answered the call and said she had overslept and was on her way. Signs of a struggle outside her apartment near her car led investigators to believe she had been abducted. Despite extensive investigations, no definite clues to her disappearance were found, and she was declared legally dead in 2001. Now, I see over here that this is trending again right now, as there may be some new leads. Look, private investigator claims new lead. Private investigator says he found potential suspect. So all of this time later, I don't know if Big Stank knew, but or that's interesting how what sparked you, Big Stank, to request this, because look, this is trending now, and this is a few days after your request. That's interesting, right? That's that's super interesting. So a private investigator publicly disclosed this new lead, and there's a name. Uh, we have a name here. I thought I saw. I hope. I gotta find it now. It's right here somewhere. Here it is, right here. It says Christopher Revac, a suspected serial killer and convicted criminal who died by suicide in a Missouri jail in 2009, emerged as a person of interest in late 2025. Authorities officially linked him to the 2006 murder of a Wisconsin woman. Look, 2006 is like the year 2026, right? It's that 26, and now we're in that 26. Reigniting investigation into his potential connection. Let me pull up a picture of that guy real quick. Revac. Almost like Christopher Reeves, huh? So maybe this is him right here. I'm guessing the woman in the middle is that other woman that they speak of. So anyways, back over here. Let's play this video. I know I'm taking a little long to get going here, as it's super early, but let's play this video first. Maybe. I don't know. It might not play. Okay, it's not going to play. So we're off to a smoking start here. So anyways, I want to note here that she died. Check this out. Well, supposedly, legally dead, June 27. Look at that. That's 22 days after her birthday. You see that? So legally dead 22 days after her birthday, when dead equals 22. Check that out. Right? And I saw something over here where it shows her death date in May. If I can find it now. Jeez. Right here. Look at this right here. Jodi Huisentruit. Let's see. Look, it says died in May right here. And it says 2001, so I don't know. That's kind of confusing. Right? Look how it says May 2001 right there. You see that? So it says May 2001 right there. And then back over here, it says, I'm assuming that's dead right there, right? June 27, 1995. I don't know. Look, you see that? I'm assuming that means but anyways, so that's the date I'm going off right there. Oh, okay. That's when the colleague called her at her home and she failed to arrive for work. Okay, so that could be an assumed death date, right? But that's interesting how it says May 2001 on Google, huh? But anyways, so this is the big day right here that we're going with, June 27, because that's when all of this, broke, right? So 22 days, um, she is, like, I guess, pronounced missing after her birthday. Dead equals 22. Now look at June 5th, and then her disappearance trendiness here. Look at the two dates here. Notice the 156th day of the year, June 5th. 156. The 156th prime number is 911. That's for emergency, right? And June 27th left 187 days in the year. And we know that that is a murder code. And you see Snoop Dogg there, who kind of implanted that in our heads, in my generation anyways, growing up. The California penal code, or whatever they call it, for murder. Even though this case wasn't out of California, it's still known throughout our country anyways. 187 refers to murder. So you get these two codes here, emergency and then 187, a murder code, linked up with these two dates. And Huisentruit has 56 in that reduction cipher. And look at her birthday, the 5th day of the 6th month, 56. Just to break down a little bit this code, right? And this fake world and these stories and these characters. Because, let's just say everything's legit, right? Then what's up with these connections, right? June 5th, her birthday, June 27th, this goes down. Her name in the language, you get the murder code stuff. 22 days after her birthday, dead equals 22. How is that all explained? And notice how Donald Trump's birthday is June 14th. Now I'm going to show you that these birthdays are a big deal with these characters, and show you how they connect, okay? So Trump, she was born, you see, 9 days before Donald Trump's birthday, right? It's interesting that she's a news anchor, or she was a news anchor, because Trump has all the fake news stuff, right? Trump has all the fake news stuff that he talks about. And he's got his own like Truth Social app or like website or whatever. But disappearance equals 112 like Donald. Notice how disappearance has the 239 like Jodi Huisentruit. And that's why she's trending, and that's the focus of this whole story. 112 and 239, so she syncs up with Trump when her birthday is right in that same time frame as Trump, and then she's disappearance. And I just simply took that out of the article I was looking at. Disappearance. This is what it's all about. 112 like Donald? Jodi Huisentruit. Look at her name right there. 239. Disappearance. 239. Even legally dead equals 88 like Trump. Look at the time over there on the left of that image of her at work from this news programming. Or she's a news anchor, right? Look at the time, 6:05. That's her birthday. 6/5, June 5th. Notice how it says 62 degrees right there. Sacrifice equals 62. And I got something else for you here. Did you see that? You didn't. But look, sacrifice equals 62. Look at that. That was the alleged potential as of late 2025 suspect, Christopher Revick. That's how you spell it. 88 in the reduction cipher. 88. Look, Trump 88, legally dead 88. How about that? How about that? Here's dude again, right there. He looks like another character on the world stage. Just can't pinpoint it right now. So his name's got the 88 as well. And that's just added on information that I find here. I'm just curious, is that video ever going to play? There we go. All right. So she was born, I guess she was born in Minnesota, but came up missing in Iowa, who worked in Mason City. Get that, Mason. You see that? Right? I don't know if that video is actually going to play. But look, there's more Donald Trump connections, okay? Because she excelled at golf in high school and won the state Class A tournament. And Donald Trump is a big golfer, right? And you see right there, notice how she was born in Minnesota. They got the Twin Cities. Trump's got the Trump Tower, which is kind of like Twin Towers, right? So you get those connections as well. And I mentioned disappeared in Mason City. You got the like maybe a Freemason for all of the decoders who like to talk about the Freemasons, the organizations, the secret societies out there who may run the world, perform rituals, and possibly control things behind the scenes, and maybe our news and what what's given to us to distract us. You got that Mason connection. And then this guy, all the way on the right, doesn't his name kind of makes me think of J.D. Vance? You see that? John Vancis. You see that? The day before her disappearance, Huisentruit participated in a golf tournament, according to Mason City resident John Vancis, like J.D. Vance, the vice president to Donald Trump. And that's Donald John Trump. This guy's name is John. So you get all of these connections with Trump because the news of this was right around Trump's birthday, and this stuff gets exposed one more time. This stuff gets exposed one more time, and she disappeared in 95. So we're 31 years later now, right? Donald equals 31. Notice some of these numbers over here. Huisentruit I have highlighted, 133, just like president, government, and White House. Notice Jodi Huisentruit, 113. Politics equals 113. Okay? You see Donald 31 right there. Now, Trump equals 29. And when we look at the numbers over here, her birthday left 209 days in the year, like 29. Right? Now, this doesn't mean that Trump is, his character is responsible for this. That's not what this means. This just means that everything is ran by the language with these numbers. Okay? She was age 27, I guess, when she disappeared as well. So, pretty wild. The anchor woman's belongings were found scattered across her apartment complex's parking lot that AM. Look at the area code, Mason City 641. Trump's birthday is 146, the 14th day of the 6th month. Right? So, appreciate you, Big Stank. And, news anchors got 48 like Donald Trump has 48. News anchors got 120. That was the inauguration date for Trump. Right? So, and that's a 23-day span from her birthday to the disappearance that hit trending. Donald equals 23. Right? So, she, that's interesting, huh? There could be more there as well. And that's wild that this is trending as of a few hours ago. Okay, so I put that together fairly quick, as this is a gift and a curse being able to do this. It makes it hard to live a normal life when everything you see, you just can break it down like that and just like, wow. Okay, so you got this Donald Trump connection here as a major character connected to this June month. And we're in June right now and it's trending. That's probably a big thing I should have said earlier. Okay, so we're a few days away from her birthday. And then again, that's wild on Google how it said she died May 2001. I don't know if they keep changing it. But okay, again, shout out Big Stank. We'll see if anything develops, which would be interesting because we're right around those dates when all of this stuff went down, right? I appreciate anytime you need me to break something down, let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. Jodi Huisentruit, her disappearance, what to know from a decoding aspect. Nice bracelet. Until next time.